Hello everyone, and time for another funny deck today. I'm gonna be playing Opal Wave, which is some kind of experimental Enchantress deck, probably invented by Fregal on the source. This is the deck list. You can also see it here. This is the main deck here, and that's the sideboard. I'll explain it in a minute. I'm just gonna run my turn here. So basically this deck revolves, it's like Turbo Enchantress, like without Argothian Enchantress, just Enchantress Presence. Pardon me, and a bunch of Sylvan Libraries to get your combo together quicker. With like Commune the Gods and Crewfix inside as well. Like you hope to draw into Opalescence and Parallax Wave. Because with Parallax Wave, no, with Opalescence, Parallax Wave becomes a creature, because like Opalescence says every other non-aura enchantment is a creature. So this will be a 4/4 creature. Then you can remove a bunch of counters to exile your opponent's creatures, and then with the last count, like you keep them on the stack. And with the last counter, you target Parallax Wave itself, which means it will exile itself, and then it triggers to leave the battlefield. So then you will return the cards exiled, but only Parallax Wave has actually been exiled already because it was the last one. And then the other 4 triggers are still on the stack, I mean the other 4 activations. So your opponent's creatures will be exiled forever, and Parallax Wave will return again with 5 new counters. So there will be kind of an infinite exiling opponent's creatures, and you just attack them with a bunch of, like, this will be a 3/3, Sylvan Library will be a 2/2, you just kill them with a bunch of silly enchantments by attacking. And I played a league with it before, and I finished a 3-2, so I'm currently still having a positive record with it. It was surprisingly strong. Like, even if you don't have Opalescence yet, yeah, this Parallax Wave is just so strong against fair creature strategies. Like, I can just exile the Knight of the Reliquary here and keep it exiled for a few turns. And my opponent isn't doing anything in the meanwhile. Galaxy is 1 turn too late. Because I already dropped my 4-drop here. I'm just gonna be drawing a few cards first. Oh, actually, Chalice of the Void, never mind. But I can Sylvan Library here. Here the question is whether I want to take Galactique with the Oblivion Ring or take the Chalice of the Void. I'll first see what I draw. Nothing yet. I guess I don't really care about Chalice, like I have Replenish in hand. And as long as I don't have Opalescence, maybe it's better to keep my Parallax Wave alive as long as possible. Decay my Sylvan Library, okay. That's annoying. That's also annoying. It doesn't really matter because I can replenish it back. It's still annoying enough. I probably just want to bring back my Silver Library here. Sure, Liliana does nothing against this board. And there are a whole bunch of synergies in the deck here that I didn't explain yet. Like with Oblivion Ring, you can, like, if you have Opalescence on the field, like Oblivion Ring will be a 3/3 creature. And with Parallax Wave, you can also exile the Oblivion Ring in response to trigger. Like, you can cast Oblivion Ring, you exile their creature, with trigger on the stack, you remove it with Parallax Wave, the creature will be exiled forever. Then you can let, like, if Parallax Wave, if you then exile Parallax Wave with itself, like I explained, like in the previous combo, it will return itself, because yeah, it is removed and it will return all the cards removed. So it will remove itself with 5 fresh counters, and it will remove the Oblivion Ring as well. It will return the Oblivion Ring as well, meaning you can exile a second permanent. That's our 4th Serra Sanctum. Starfield of Nyx seems good, and they have nothing in hand, so I'm just gonna keep as many enchantments as possible. Okay, so I now have my army. See, I think I attack first. Okay, doesn't matter. Opponent concedes. They were probably dead anyway. I didn't count. Chaotic means I need more Banishing Light effects. I'm not sure why they're not Oblivion Rings, because this doesn't combo with Parallax Wave. And last time I played against Agrolome, they did bring in Leyline of the Void. So this is bad against Teague and bad against Leyline of the Void, so I'm gonna cut it. And probably, maybe I'll leave in one Leyline of Sanctity against Liliana or discard. Probably not the greatest, but Enlightened Tutor can probably go against the Chalice of the Void deck. This is very slow, like it doesn't do anything guaranteed, so I think I can afford the mulligan once, and yeah, then I need to keep it. I just need them not to have turn 1 Chalice. Or turn 2 Ghost Quarter. Put it on green here, I think. Yeah, the Enlightened Tutors haven't actually convinced me yet. I've never been able to do anything great with them. Confident, sure. Reveals a land. Anything that does not kill Silver Library, I don't think I care about. This does seem to be decay, yeah. I think here getting the second library is more important than getting my Enchantress presence, so I'm gonna put this on white. Looks like another decay, or maybe Golgari Charm. That's At least it's not a worst draw, because it means we're gonna get at least one draw trigger the presence here. Now if our opponent kills my Utopia Sprawl on white, I would also be very screwed, because I only have white cards in hand. But they already took the Enchantress presence. Because he runs Ghost Quarter, I think I need to Oblivion Ring the Knight of the Reliquary, because otherwise he's just gonna destroy my mana here. Even though the Dark Confidant drawing more cards is definitely very annoying. I'm not playing out my land here, in case he has a wasteland, because I need this next turn for my Opalescence. Reveals Mox Diamond, sure. He didn't seem to bring in Leyline of the Void, so I'm gonna assume he doesn't. And probably Replenish is better than Fertile Ground. Enchant Land. No, I probably have to keep it in my hand. Oh, I don't want, because I can't kill the Liliana. I'm gonna make, like, if I top deck Enlightened Tutor here, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Actually, he can kill me here, right? I mean, he kills my Oblivion Ring. Yeah, I'm pretty dead. Yeah, Replenish would have been sweet here. It would have been a pretty big army. Huh, Replenish. Actually, next turn I would... Maybe I should have... Like, he would bring me down to 2, he would have killed the Oblivion Ring, then I would have gotten back 1 Oblivion Ring. Yeah, I think I still wouldn't have 1, because... But yeah, definitely Replenish is good here. Yes, play first. And does nothing. Don't think I can risk it. This seems better if we find a land next turn. Crucifix Insight seems also really nice in these grindy matchups. Being a 3 for 1. So here I have the option of playing Fertile Ground, then having my 3 mana for Enchantress presence next turn, or Sylvan Library. I think I want Sylvan Library because if they don't have the Decay in hand, it's going to be really strong. Like, it's just going to draw me 3 cards, because I don't care about my life total for now. Ooh, that's rough enough. I think I want to keep 1 extra land in hand. So I'll be able to do more stuff in my next turns. At least my opponent only has 1 more card in hand. It's a good one, admittedly, but at least I know he doesn't have decays or something, unless he top decks them. Ooh, Parallax Wave. Can exile all of these. And the next turn I have the Opalescence combo. Definitely need to exile that one. Definitely need to exile that one. Let's see, next turn this goes down. Do I need to exile the Dried Arbor? Like, it doesn't really... It gets him up to 5. Yeah, I think I can exile it, but I don't think it's necessary. Like, next turn this goes down to 2. To 1, and then I can use last counter to exile itself. So yeah, I have exactly enough counters left on it. So let's play the Fertile Ground first to draw a card. Tap this for double white. Then I'm gonna attack. See, then I exile itself and return it and exile his stuff permanently. So keep priority. Keep priority. Okay, opponent concedes. GG. It's his fault for playing a creature deck, a non-blue creature deck. I think these really have a bad matchup against this deck. Scully. So like Galactic would do some damage there if you don't draw an Oblivion Ring. But apart from Galactic, and like just trying to abrupt decays out of the game, there isn't so much he can do, I think. Let's see, 4 and 2. That's 67% wins for now. Our second opponent joined. I think I'm keeping this because of the O-ring and the parallax wave. I should be able to deal with a bunch of things. Like if this is show and tell, Oblivion Ring could be good. If this is Storm, we probably lose. But then any other opening hand would also lose this against Storm. Definitely a combo deck. Like I have seen some fair Grixis Young Pyromancer decks running a bunch of Preordains, but that's like very small percentage. So in general, double Preordain is of a basic island would be either show and tell or storm. Misty Rainforest doesn't really indicate yet which of the two it is. But the fact that he's thinking seems to indicate that he's more likely to be on storm. If he's show and tell, he probably wouldn't need to. He probably would already know what to do because it's an easier combo to execute. Well, of course, with storm you need to count all your mana and your storm count as such. Like you need to count to 10 and probably like to 8 mana or something. Well, if you're show and tell, either you have another 1 mana cantrip in hand and you fetch and play it, or you don't and you pass turn. On the other hand, his name seems Japanese. And Japanese people seem to like show and tell. Okay, they are in storm. And they do have the kill, otherwise they wouldn't be starting their combo turn. Oh, is he going for empty the warrens? Oh, maybe he wanted to check somewhere if empty the warrens was a thing. If empty the warrens was a safe bet. Oh no, he got another ritual. Oh yeah, that's a good line. Getting more rituals than Past in Flame, so he has more mana. 8 mana, tutor, and I dead. Okay. Yeah, getting the... Of course he already had the Past in Flames there, so he didn't need to... He didn't need to... He didn't need to get the Past in Flames anymore, so he could just get more rituals or LEDs. Usually ritual is better if you already have Past in Flames. So Carp the Flowers might be okay to make more mana. Not entirely sure, but Sphere of Resistance is obviously good. Leyline of Sanctity is good, and Eidolon of Rhetoric. Living Rings are bad. Replenish. They do have some discards, but maybe I can cut one. Because the discard is not going to be great with Leyline of Sanctity, and I can probably cut some number of Parallax Wave. Like it's only gonna... It's actually gonna do nothing here, I think, right? Then cut some... Give me You with the God seems mediocre. And I already brought in some more 2-drops. Maybe this is more against Delver decks with the soft counters. I'll leave in some number. Yeah, I'll just trim some number of random things. Maybe I could have cut a land. So we have Leyline into turn 2 Eidolon. This is definitely not going to get a whole lot better. And then we can Opalescence and attack him for a bunch of damage. We already have a lot of white mana, so I'm going to put Utopia Sprawl on green. Here. So now I have 4 mana. If I play the Fertile Ground on the Serra Sanctum, I'm also still gonna have 4 mana. I think that's worth having more options next turn. Although with Eidolon of Rhetorics, I'm never gonna have more than one spell to cast each turn anyway. The question is, I can also Utopia Sprawl here, then I have even more mana, but again nothing to do with it. So I think I'm gonna keep them in hand in case I draw Enchantress Presence. Rule of Law would have been better here, because it would have been, after I resolve my Opalescence, it would have been a 3-3. Sylvan Library is actually kind of good here to draw more disruption. Maybe that's better than dealing 4 more damage. Yeah, because also Sylvan Library will attack for 2, so I lose 4 damage here, but next turn I'll have 2 damage more, so I only lose 2 damage in the long term. Echoing Truth, maybe, if he's fetching there. Oh, Fatal Push. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I'm definitely happy to have the Sylvan Library, because then we can find more Eidolons. Maybe Fatal... Why the hell did he bring in Fatal Push? Like, it's really bad against Enchantress. Like, he didn't see I was on a strange Enchantress for a hand. Yeah, maybe like one more replenish would be good. Yeah, of course Fatal Push killing the Eidolon was also a reason to play out Utopia Sprawl earlier. Because then next turn we'd have like 1 or 2 mana more, depending on whether I draw land. Like, and yeah, then I could like go Opalescence into something, into another Eidolon, for example, whatever I draw of my Sylvan Library. Storm, this is probably not going to end well. If opponent gives me 1 more turn, I think I could be in an okay spot, but if he lets me untap, because then I can just dig into more ley lines or More Eidolons. But no, he does seem to have a kill here. That's unfortunate. Huh, empty the warrens. Okay. I'm not sure we have an out to that. Except just... Maybe Parallax Wave would have been good, just a single ton to kill his goblin tokens. And he could still preordain into a tendrils anyway. No, he can't. He could preordain into a chain of vapor for my ley line and then brainstorm into the tendrils. That's a bummer. Don't think I have anything that can get me out of here, because I can have double blocker, but he's just gonna have enough tokens to deal with this anyway. Like, and I can't draw more cards of Sylvan Library, because more blockers won't. Like, he has enough. Like, more blockers doesn't get me anywhere. Let's see, put it back on top. Back on top. I'll see what I have going on here. But I'm pretty sure this is not going to do anything anyway. No, only Parallax Wave would have saved me here. So the lesson of the day is don't board it out. Don't board all 4 of them out. Like, leave 1 or 2 in against Storm, just to deal with empty the warrens. While we wait, I'll just put back up the deck list. There are so many cards to bring in against Storm that I'm still not really sure how to keep space for the Parallax Waves. It's something to work on, like finding out how to board against Storm. Maybe just get more Enchantress presences, or like other cards that are really slow. Yeah, it has O-Ring and Opalescence, I guess I keep it. This guy has been playing Splinter Twin or Miracles lately, so... Ooh, that was a mistake. Because I need double white, so I need to fetch a Savannah here. And even against Splinter Twin or Miracles, I don't like enchanting a non-basic. They might have back to basics or something really annoying. At least my own creatures are now safe from removal. At least, I mean, as soon as I get Opalescence and Parallax Wave into play. Because again, if they target something with the Sword Supply shares, you just exile it and then you exile Parallax. You exile it, you wait for the exile effect to resolve, and then you exile Parallax Wave, so and then it will actually be returned. Like, the exiling effect is only indefinite if you exile Parallax Wave in response, like with the first one still on the stack, but if you let the first one resolve, it will come back. And then like the removal spell, even a Terminus will fizzle. Actually no, a Terminus won't fizzle. But at least against Terminus you can still hide your board. I probably don't want my opponent to untap with this, right? So I have to choose between Enchantress Presence or Oblivion Ring. No, actually, because of Back to Basics, I have to tap these lands. I'm probably just gonna Oblivion Ring the Soothsaying here. And then I'm gonna Oblivion Ring the Mentor. And be really sad if he has Force of Will. I mean, I can still Parallax Wave at some point and deal with all the tokens, so... But I might be dead before I resolve both of these, because one is gonna be 4 mana, the other... So unless I draw Serra Sanctum, I can't play both next turn. So I lead with Parallax Wave here. He might have a counter spell, because he's keeping open all his mana. But if it would resolve, then I could just have exiled his Mentor. He's not attacking with one of the monks. That's a very, very strange way. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can Enchantress Presence into Opalescence, or I can Opalescence into Replenish if he counters it. But he did not have... What the hell can he have? He does not have cantrips, or he would have boosted his monk tokens. And he did not have like regular counterspell, or he wouldn't have forced last turn. I can also, of course, just Opalescence plus Replenish. Then I lose out on the Enchantress Presence value. I think I'm gonna be greedy and try one more turn just with the Enchantress Presence. Let's see what's going on there. I'm gonna be 1 mana short for being able to replenish if he counters something, or even if he doesn't counter anything. Actually, this means he can plow my Oblivion Ring or my Enchantress Presence, because he might just have 2 Sword Supply shares in hand. I think I keep both of these as blockers. Because if they die, I get to replenish and... Okay, that's kind of annoying. Maybe I should just have gone... Maybe I should just have gone for 3 mana. Oh yeah, just gonna Soothsay, I guess. Yeah, I should just have gone for replenish, like for Opalescence and replenish probably. I'm definitely blocking here because of replenish. I mean, I'm definitely not blocking here. I thought he was gonna plow me. That's an interesting line. Yeah, listen of the day. Greed will kill you, because I think this could be lethal, right? Let me see. I'm gonna block this. I'm gonna take 9, 10. I'm gonna take 10 only. Okay, I'm dead to Force of Will blue card, and I probably win against anything else. Crufix Insight could get me more cards into the graveyard for replenish. More enchantments, and I think I have enough mana, right? 1, 2, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana left. Do I want these? Probably, and I probably want them off the replenish. Or let's see. If I replenish, maybe I can cast Leyline of Sanctity to draw more cards. Yeah, I think I take the Leyline of Sanctity and yeah, I have no idea if I screw this up or not. And if any of the cards will get returned, but ooh, I accidentally exiled my Oblivion Ring forever, it seems. That's definitely not what I intended. Okay, so I just exile my Parallax Wave to itself to save it from the plow. Huh? This should fizzle, right? Because it should be a different one. Yeah, okay. I was confused because it still had the red arrows targeting it. Woohoo, won the game. Probably want more banishing lights to stop Jace or Eatersworn Canonist or whatever annoying things they have. I feel like Enlightened Tutor its card disadvantage. I don't really like it in these matchups. Actually, Leyline of Sanctity does nothing. Carpet Flowers is definitely better than any of these. I'll try this. I'll start filling out my matchup sheet. Wu Xian or something? Oh, it's the H that's capitalized. Miraculous. Yeah, Silver Library is very good in this matchup. So this is keep. I'm probably gonna Fertile Ground first though, so in case something happens to the Silver Library, at least I can Crewfix Insight into Opalescence on the turns after. Or at least I will have mana for Banishing Light. I'll see. If my opponent taps out, maybe I play Silver Library first. If he's keeping open Counterspell, I probably don't. Because there's no way, there's no reason here to play into a 2-mana Counterspell. I'm just gonna let my opponent sit on his mana unused. Why is he gonna respond to this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, maybe he wanted to brainstorm end of turn and he's just gonna do it in response. Get some F6 value. But otherwise I don't really see it. The opponent could have Force of Will, meaning plowing the Mentor. I mean, banishing Lighting the Mentor maybe doesn't do anything. I'm still gonna play at Utopia Sprawl because this hand really wants a lot of mana. But I think, oh yeah, I just wanted to not die to the Mentor randomly, so I guess Banishing Light was a good choice there. Gonna start by playing out my Sprawls first. So if I get any hits off the Silver Library or the Crewfix Insight, I'll be able to actually cast them next turn. Does he have Flusterstorm? I don't know why he's fetching otherwise. I don't think Flusterstorm is really good against this deck, but it would randomly suck here, because I could have played Crewfix Insight first. So I get to put 3 enchantments into my hand. I want Presence, Starfield of Nyx, I think, and Wild Growth. And opponent concedes. Yeah, this would just probably be too much value against him having nothing. GG. Yeah, the deck is performing a lot better than I thought. When I saw this at first, I thought it was, well, not really a joke, but it looked like just a bad version of Enchantress, but it's been really consistent so far against fair decks. Let's see, because right now I'm like 5 and 3. I guess that's like 5, 8. That's like 62.5. Yeah, 62.5%. That's good. Accordingly. I'm wondering if it's a joke for accordingly or something. Accordingly. Yeah, this hand I think is probably too slow without a ramp card. Huh. This is even worse. This is a Sylvan Library turn 2 around the days. That's probably gonna put this on top in case something happens to our Sylvan Library. I'm guessing Black Red Reanimator here. And we don't have any graveyard hate for some reason. I'm not entirely sure because I didn't build the deck myself. But yeah, the sideboard doesn't have anything going on against Reanimator. Maybe the creator didn't think it was worth it. And Doom for something. I don't think we're winning this. Doom for Iona on green. Actually, we do still have Parallax Wave, so we have this on white. Oh, he put it on white. Probably can't beat Iona on white, right? We don't even have a Caracas. Maybe I shouldn't reveal the top cards in my library, but whatever. Because now he knows it's gonna be good on white. Yeah, that was a mistake. All the removal spells are white, and even the replenishes are white. These are not the worst cards. They're not. I don't feel like they're great, but. Lane Life Sanctity stops discard. Banishing Light takes care of anything that's not Iona. And Eidolon probably not good enough. Fear of Resistance. Probably not all of them. Replenish is not so great if they can't discard me. Yeah, Caracas would probably be really good here. Because it also deals with... Like, Leovold is not a huge problem, I think, for this version, but it also deals with Galactique. Yeah, I think I'm going down on these effects. Commune with the Gods has also been underwhelming. Maybe I don't really need to be on that plan. Like the... maybe I don't need to be on the Sphere of Resistance plan against them. Because even if they pay 2 mana for a Reanimate, then I'm still gonna lose. This is reasonable at least. It's reasonable against anything but Iona on white. That's turn 2, Sylvan Library. Trying to dig for Opalescence, and as soon as you have Parallax Wave in play, like even Iona can't do anything. So we just need to race to a Parallax Wave. Chancellor of the Annex. That is very annoying. So I could burn my Utopia Sprawl here to get my Sylvan Library into play next turn, or I could next turn play Utopia Sprawl, pay 2, then I won't have Sylvan Library, but I'll have 3 mana turn after for potential Oblivion Ring. I think I'll take the risk here. Maybe I need the speed or the consistency provided by Single Library, but I feel like this hand only has 2 mana sources. Oh, he already has Iona. Exhume his Iona. If he puts it on white, I'm just dead. That's very... a Griselbrand, okay. That was a greedy play. I mean, maybe he finds a way... he probably finds a way to reanimate Iona next turn, but... or this turn. But if he had fizzled here, he would have given me 1 turn to do something. So yeah, that's probably going to be GG. Yeah, whatever. At least he didn't waste too much of our time. So basically we beat every fair deck, we lost to every unfair deck. So let's hope we get faced, like we get paired to a fair deck for the last round. Like some amount of Rest in Peace or Surgical seems like it could be okay. Like Replenish is kind of bad with Rest in Peace, but I would probably prefer having Rest in Peace than over Replenish, so I would board these out anyway. Or the deck could have like Leyline of the Voids, which it can't cast, but like Leyline of the Void and Helm of Obedience, which you can then tutor with the Enlightened Tutor, for example. Or like just the Caracas. There are definitely some improvements to be made. Because like the Carpet of Flowers seems really good against decks like Delver, but I think Delver already has a very hard time dealing with Opalescence Parallax Wave, except for countering it and destroying all your mana. But in general, I think this is like so good against fair decks that the cards that are there for against fair decks, like Carpet of Flowers, to some extent, could be cut for like more graveyard hate or something like that. And on to the last match of this league. On the die roll, that's a good start. So turn 1 Utopia Sprawl gets us Enchantress presence turn 2, that's clearly a hand to keep. And even if like something happens to it, like if it gets discarded or our second fetch land gets stifled, we still have Commune with the Gods. So a 2-drop and a 3-drop on turn 2 seems good. And we have a second Utopia Sprawl, which means I want to put the first one on green. So then I can fetch something with Windswept Heat next turn and put the second one on white. I have a feeling we're playing against the combo deck again because they have 6th. So I'm gonna start by the Utopia Sprawl here, putting it on white. Okay, they're not F6ing anymore. Just so I have more mana next turn to play both Parallax Wave and Commune with the Gods if necessary. Actually, I won't. I only have 5 mana, so never mind. Okay, if I draw a 1-drop, at least I can double spell next turn. Lotus Petal. Either there's Storm, in which case we're dead, or there's Show and Tell, in which case Parallax Wave probably wins me the game. But Swamp means there's Storm, so... probably dead. Yeah, there's been a lot of Storm recently, like not even recently, just on Magic Online. It seems like 20 to 40% of the decks I play against are Storm in many leagues. So that's, what's his name again? Optimus. Okay, 16. We do have a chance if he goes for Empty the Warrens, but that seems unlikely. Yeah, I think he has enough mana to kill us here. Oh, ad nauseam. Okay. He might still randomly kill himself, but if he doesn't, I probably have to concede. It surprised me that he didn't float mana of the LED. Because if he had floated black mana, he probably would already have 1. I'm not sure. No, he needs more mana. So you can go Petal, Ritual, 3 mana, have 1 mana floating crack LED, yeah. Petal plus Dark Ritual probably wins the game. So I have to remember to leave in at least 1 Parallax Wave. In case he goes for Empty the Warrens. I think I just got the replenishes completely. Yes, we'd like to play first. Does not have ley line, but it seems good by itself. Like turn 2, Enchantress or Silver Library. You're probably gonna die, but even if we mulligan to ley line, we're gonna die, so it doesn't really matter. These matchups are very frustrating. Therapy me. Please don't take Silver Library, because that's the only thing I can cast next turn. Okay, of course that's what he takes. Okay, lots of fun to be had. Maybe I should have left in at least some number of replenish, just in case I didn't have the ley line of sanctity to protect me from this card. At least Opalescence will turn this card flowers into a 1/1 in 2 turns. So we can kill him in 18 attacks, so in 20 turns he should be dead. Oh, Leyline of Sanctity, and opponent still hasn't played. If he had played an island there, I would have been able to play the Leyline. But I think he already has an island in hand, he just doesn't want to play it into my Carpet Flowers yet. Because he didn't shuffle his library, so that means he has something going on. He does not. Not shuffling seems strange, but whatever. Oh, actually, that's stupid. Because, yeah, an island. So I play Leyline of Sanctity here, and then I can upkeep Enlightened Tutor for Eidolon of Rhetoric. Or maybe Maybe Sphere of Resistance? Yeah, he seems really mana screwed. Maybe Sphere of Resistance is better. Yeah, maybe he already had the island, but didn't want to give me any mana. I suppose this seems more likely. So I'm gonna have 5 mana here. Yeah, it's time to play the Opalescence. And attack for 5. At least we might get one game of them. Reign of Filth. Who is going for it here? True Sphere of Resistance. That's kind of brave. Sacrificing all his lands. I guess he could Past in Flames. Does he have enough mana for that? Because he needs to go for Past in Flames, then tutor another tutor. Because he needs to flashback one of them to bounce my to get a Chain of Vapor for my Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, I think he needs to go over Empty the Warrens here. I have a feeling going for double tutor into Chain of Vapor and Tendrils is going to be a bit ambitious. Past in Flames. Maybe he's just trying. Like, I have a feeling this is not going to end well. I don't think he has enough mana for this. Dark Ritual. Seekabal Ritual nets 2, so he's going to be at 6. Then Infernal Tutor is going to be at 3. So he's going to be at 6. Infernal Tutor leaves him at 3. And then he can only play a CMC2 spell. Either he made a bad calculation, because like he still had a few turns to go. Like he wasn't going to be dead. He could take 2 more hits even. Yeah, he could have tried to draw a few more Cabal Rituals. Or he could get an LED, crack it for blue, try to ponder into something. I'm not sure what it would achieve, but Fatal push my ley line. Yeah, okay. And then probe me. and start his next turn with 0 permanents and 1 card in hand. Why do they all board in Fatal Push? It's crazy. Actually, there's no reason to add mana here. I want to keep the Wild Growth in hand for if I ever draw an Enchantress effect. So I need to remember end of turn, Enlightened Tutor for something. Probably Eidolon? No. Opponent concedes. Saves us the choice. Probably should have gotten another Leyline of Sanctity. So replenish would have been okay there. Maybe bring in 1 or 2. Depending on what I can cut. Maybe Crufix Insight is a bit too slow. Another draw. Maybe the Carpet of Flowers mana is... You can see it being kind of nice. I'll try it like this. Let's see, turn 1, Enlightened Tutor into Sphere of Resistance. Meaning he can still kill me turn 1 or turn 2, which is not unlikely. I think I'm still keeping it because this is a very unfavorable matchup. So again, mulligan to Leyline doesn't do a whole lot. So I gotta try it with these tutors. And if he therapies them, at least they can still Utopia Sprawl into Library or Presence. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Maybe he kept another zero blue mana hand. He did shuffle. He did have a land. It's kind of annoying that this is not a wild growth, or none of these is a green source, because otherwise we could play Utopia Sprawl before going for the Sphere of Resistance next turn, meaning I would have at least mana to cast Enchantress Presence or so the turn after. I mean, I might as well play it here. Don't think it matters. Takes my second tutor. Of course, he could have surgical and surgical something and shuffle away the tutor. But he could have done that end of turn as well. So next turn, Sylvan Library, unless he discards it. Green source means, yeah, I can Utopia Sprawl. No, wait, can I Utopia Sprawl first? No, I can't, actually. I should be able to write. No, I can Utopia Sprawl on 2 mana, and I have 2 mana left. No, I need to just place in the library here. And this could get me Eidolon, though, next turn. This, I think, the only 3 mana spell that I need. Ooh, Sphere of Resistance. He could have brought in Hercule's Recall, in which case Sphere of Resistance is not. The second one isn't really that great. Or I could go Eidolon. Eidolon diversifies my threats, but it also turns on any Fatal Push he might have. But Echoing Truth seems good against. I think I put that one back for next turn. I think now I can Utopia Sprawl, though. Utopia Sprawl, I have 3 left. At least he can't end of turn Hercule's Recall or Echoing Truth, because it's gonna cost 4 mana. The next turn I'll have 5 mana, meaning I can pay 4 for the thing, for the Eidolon. If I also draw a Serra Sanctum, I'm gonna have 5, 6, 7 mana. So I could Enchantress Presence into... Oh, okay, never mind. I'm only gonna... It could be greedy, but I think I want to dig deeper to a ley line, because I think as soon as I have a ley line, it's gonna be finished. Actually, all of these cost 5 now, so even with the Serra Sanctum I wouldn't have been able to double spell. I was only counting the +1. So Leyline of Sanctity is now gonna cost me 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Brainstorm into no lands, that's always good, because I think all of his answers to these cost 4 mana. Ooh, yeah, put that on top, put that on top. Then next turn, Opalescence turns our... we get 6 more power on the board, so we can attack for 7 next turn. And then in 2 turns he's dead. Especially if he's Brainstorm locked here. Opalescence means he will be able to Fatal Push my ley line again if he finds a fetch land, but I think attacking for 6 more damage here. Wait, Eidolon turns into a 3/3. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, because it's... oh yeah, it's non-aura, it's not non-aura, non-creature. So even creatures have their power and toughness changed. Chain of Vapor, my Eidolon. Do I want to bounce anything else? Nope, don't think so. Still needs to deal with his fears, so could theoretically have a good turn with Rain of Filth, I guess. He could have also kept the Chain of Vapor for my next attack phase on my Opalescence, meaning I only get to attack for one next turn. That's gonna be a close one. Yeah, I think I'm still winning this. Yeah, I can't see him winning from here, but with Storm with 5 cards in hand, it's always possible. Alright, one against Storm with some Enchantress variety. That means I definitely want to open my chests and see what's going on there. Ooh, ooh. First saw the Watery Grave, that's good, but the Vendilion Clique is also very good. Yeah, that's definitely one of the better Storm games that I've played with an Enchantress deck. The Sphere of Resistance really proved itself. Like, it's very nice in combination with the Enlightened Tutor, as we saw in the last game, bringing the deck now to 6 and 4. Oh yeah, that's just 60% wins. It's very strong still. So I'm gonna upload this video now, and I hope you enjoy watching this funny pile of bullshit. Right, see you for the next video.